Since Discovery's acquisition of Warner Brothers in 2022, we've seen the uptake and normalization of cancelling finished film projects, as then new CEO David Zaslav employed a new strategy for Warner Brothers to recoup some of its lost income: writing off films for accounting purposes. All to save money on Warner Brothers' taxes. Fuck the art. Gotta get those tax refunds. If you've been subscribed to me for any length of time, you'll know that you don't come to me for a corporate perspective or corporate apologia. I'm all about the art and enjoying the art. When films are written off for tax purposes, that in no way benefits the consumer, and it certainly doesn't benefit the artists behind it. And the Looney Tunes have been perhaps one of the biggest victims of this new normalized business practice that was once unheard of prior to David Zaslav's involvement. So to David Zaslav, I really hope he gets some kind of chronic headache condition for the rest of his days for what he has done to cinema. Fuck that guy. But fortunately, he did not succeed at suppressing the Looney Tunes. Very recently, we had the release of The Day the Earth Blew Up. I watched it with my buddy Fez Penguin, and I gotta say, it's terrific. It's one of my favorite films of the year. It's a fully hand-drawn Looney Tunes adventure, and it might just be the best Looney Tunes feature film to date. I love how it focused on Daffy and Porky. The animation was absolutely gorgeous. It was full of heart, character, and charm. That's a film you should be showing your kids, not the stinking Mario movies. Perhaps an even more high-profile release to get cancelled was the Coyote vs. Acme movie. Warner Brothers damn near defeated this one, and you gotta ask, what do they have against the Looney Tunes? I mean, Bugs Bunny is the face of Warner Brothers. This would be like Disney just raking Mickey Mouse over the coals. The undervaluing of animated properties needs to be studied. Fortunately, the Looney Tunes have a hero, and that is in the form of Ketchup Entertainment, an independent distributor who purchased the rights to The Day the Earth Blew Up and Coyote vs. Acme. Releasing these Looney Tunes films has made Ketchup Entertainment into quite a big distributor in the Hollywood space. And this has also been amazing PR for Ketchup Entertainment as well. They get to be the heroes in the same story, where Warner Brothers are the villains of that story. They've kind of become a symbol of being pro-art, pro-animation, pro-Looney Tunes, and I appreciate it. I think the people that worked on these movies probably really appreciate it. So shout out Ketchup Entertainment. When it comes to Hollywood distributors, these guys have the sauce. See that marketing spin? How's that? Well, now in a huge victory for Looney Tunes, the Coyote vs. Acme trailer has finally released, and they are well and truly taking pot shots at David Zaslav, and I love to see it. The film is a live-action CGI hybrid all about the Coyote going up against the Acme Corporation after years of their products failing on him, leading to his destruction in his pursuit to take down the Roadrunner many a times. What a great concept. But I think this film's troubled past has only inspired the marketing team, because they are taking subtle and thematic pot shots at Warner Brothers all throughout this trailer. For one, when the Warner Brothers logo comes up, it mentions that they are a fully funded subsidiary of the Acme Corporation. You've got a moment where a human character says that they are sick of corporations thinking they can get away with anything.
These companies think they can do whatever they want. We're sick of it.
I wonder why they included that in the trailer. Ketchup, I see you. I like you, Ketchup. Oh boy, Warner Brothers, do you have egg on your face right now. This is no ordinary victory. This is a victory with vengeance, I'm telling you. This is great. The big tagline is that this is the movie Acme doesn't want you to see. And this works on so many levels. Even if the film wasn't buried by Warner Brothers in the past, that could still be a pretty good tagline because it characterizes Acme really well, and it has some really fun social commentary on how these big mega corporations think they can get away with anything. Safe to say that stinking Warner Brothers really proved their point with this one, guaranteeing that on a thematic level, this is going to be a real backfiring for Warner Brothers. I love it. Then at the end of the trailer, you hear Foghorn Leghorn narrating that this film has only been released for accounting purposes.
The Acme Corporation is releasing this film for accounting purposes only.
Absolutely brilliant. genuinely taking something horrible that happened to this movie and making it work to its benefit in the marketing was such a smart move, and I absolutely applaud them. I hope that David Zaslav is really embarrassed. Also, a $500 million severance package is excessive. He doesn't deserve all that. No one deserves all that. If the corporate world could just be sensible with the pay packages that people get, that would be amazing. That would probably really help our economy. But, hey, corporate's gonna do what corporate's gonna do. As for the film itself, it looks really fun. We've got kind of a courtroom drama with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner all up against Acme, and we've got other Looney Tunes characters in tow here as well. This looks to be much more akin to sort of Looney Tunes back in action than, say, The Day the Earth Blew Up was, which was just a very classic Looney Tunes adventure. One thing I've seen people kind of debating about is the animation, because this is a live action and CGI hybrid movie. They're using a similar technique to what the Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers used for Chip in that movie, where it is 3D CGI animation styled to look hand-drawn. Now, with Rescue Rangers, at first I was convinced that Chip was 2D animated, until one minute I finally noticed a little bit of the CGI imperfections here and there and realized, oh, he's CGI, but they did a good job with it. I think that is an okay alternative if 2D animation isn't an option. I do think it is executed much better in Coyote vs. Acme, though. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't prefer it to be hand-drawn, and I'd be lying if I said it looked absolutely flawless. There is a shot with Foghorn Leghorn where you can tell that he is a 3D model, and there are a couple of shots and angles where Coyote does look noticeably 3D. This angle here, it would be unusual to draw him with this much perspective. But they've got the 2D appeal of the characters down, and the shading looks incredibly authentic. If we divorce this from the fact that they didn't go for traditional animation, this is actually a very impressive use of 3D. And while you do have a couple of shots that utilize that 3D with the characters, for the most part they are animated and framed as though they are 2D characters, which is the right way to go. I will always advocate for the use of hand-drawn animation, but I'm also aware of what a painstaking process that is, and they probably saved a lot of time doing it this way, and I do understand why with Hollywood pipelines that is the way that it is, but we have The Day the Earth Blew Up, you know? They're not going to take that away from us, and that film looked absolutely gorgeous. One of the best-looking animated films I've seen in a while. It goes to show that the art of traditional animation will always endure any and all technological advancements. The old-fashioned way will always have its place, should always have its place, and the fact that it's been denied its place in Hollywood for so long is just, it just shows that there's very little value for the actual art here. But again, it does look good in this case. It's certainly better than it could have looked, and I do think it is a very cool experimental technique. I also love that they've even applied a little bit of film grain to it too. Film grain is beautiful. So many people do not understand the value of that. Do you know what that is? You know why it looks so pretty? It's just little tiny crystals in the film, just shimmering and sparkling with the light hitting it. And it gives movies a beautiful texture, and even if it's artificial, I'm just happy to see it there. Film grain is not something that should be avoided. They've even slightly softened the animated characters as well, so they look like they stepped straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. That's the thing, is they have clearly had to use a very different technology to what was used to make those classic, authentic Looney Tunes, but they have honored it at the very least, and I really, really appreciate that. Why would you cancel this? Seriously, thank Jeebus for Ketchup Entertainment. Like, we could have been denied this. They didn't want us to see this. Why would you not want us to see this? This is something to be proud of. This would look good on any film slate. And you know what? Ketchup Entertainment, they had their biggest hit ever with The Day the Earth Blew Up, and I hope that this film will repeat that success, and that Ketchup Entertainment have a great future ahead of them, saving movies that were disregarded by the big fat corpos who don't value art. Get them, Ketchup, and keep going for the throat in the marketing. It's beautiful. Are you looking forward to Coyote vs. Acme? What are your thoughts on the animation? How do you feel about this whole thing? And how do you feel about the big middle finger this is to David Zaslav? We can hold a little celebration in the comments below, but in the meantime, in terms of channel performance, April has been a really stinky month for me. Actually, the worst in the channel's history. It's not been good. So today, I'm going to thank all of my patrons, okay? So here we go. KB, Twilord, Biotin, Sirius the Skeptic, and Mr. SP. K.O. Bennett didn't expect to change the name so soon. Dare Denny, Sad Goku, Ghostly Phantom, Xanderwolf, Channel Pup, aka just another evil robot clone claiming discarded naming rights. Hey, you do it. You are the Ketchup of naming rights, it seems. Vera Wild, SSS06, Carl X, RT0, Marv Animation, Grant Allen, Josh Strider, Silver, Ben Raven, Basic Content, Gideon Wells, Pressplater Jason, Joseph Tribble, Cho Hanshin, Shenlock Brackus, Ollie Heap, Stefan P, Chris Dorkson, Ian Plushcap, Sonic the Screwdriver. Did you know this entire video was AI generated? It wasn't, that's just the name. Sam Webster, Mr. Terry Chaos, Ryan Simnet, Jordan R, Rusty Bucks Cat, Just a Dreamer, Smacko, Hollow Apple, Renbo, Rhythm and Tempo, Aquil Jaguar, Steel Joe 1120, Adam Myers. Thank you folks so much for being so generous. You've been a huge help. And as for the rest of you, go check out another video on my channel. I got so many of them that you can check out. Just go watch, okay? Okay.